Thank you very much, Dave. It's an honor to be here. Thank you, Tiffany, for co-moderating today. And it wasn't until about, 20 minutes ago, I wasn't sure if I was speaking or not. I thought I was sitting on the panel answering any questions that came up. As I was thinking about what to say, I appreciate all the comments made this morning and very much want to go back to talking about the importance of agriculture in this area, in this county. Certainly, we all know the importance of climate protection and the interplay between government and regulatory agencies and agriculture. And it reminded me of something that I learned last year. Actually, when I decided to run for supervisor, I had a friend of mine take me out who is a lawyer here in town that grew up on a dairy farm not far from here, and gave me a brief history of the area. And it always stuck with me because I think as you drive around our beautiful landscape, what kind of looks bucolic and has never changed over the course of time is a completely dynamic sector of our society that really goes under the radar. So I appreciate very much the comments made. And if I can, what I was told at that time was 150 years ago, right over here by Lakeville was one of the largest wineries, vineyards in Sonoma County. It produced about 650,000 gallons. It was over by the Petaluma adobe. Over the course of time, the vines withered and died. Prohibition was in there somewhere. But I think the point of that is that now, if you drive along Lakeville, you see hundreds of acres of vines. They're new, they've come back, the market has changed. 75 years ago, as was mentioned by my friend Arnie Rebley, Petaluma truly was the egg basket to the world, and whatever made that happen at the time, the invention of the incubator, we had a chicken pharmacy here in town, certainly the hatcheries, and some of them are still around. If you drive out around the area, you see not only the 20 farms that are still active, but you see a lot of the crumbling hen houses that are out there. And as Arnie mentioned, 2,700 families made their living off of poultry, including the egg business. Today, you see, again, lots of those crumbling hen houses out there, but you still see, as Arnie mentioned, the two large producers here locally, both local families, Sunrise Farms and Steve and Judy Mart's Petaluma Eggs. But we also have Rocky the Range chicken, or hen, whatever that thing is. But Rocky being an important aspect of our local economy, and the organic egg production that has changed. And so really, you see a business that has evolved and changed over the course of time for the variety of reasons based on the economy. About 50 years ago, certainly, and you can still see it out west, the dairy belt of Sonoma County was here. Certainly, you probably don't see as many cows out that way today as you did 50 years ago, but with competition of other places where land is less expensive, where there might be less expensive business costs and land availability. Those families that live out west, primarily, rather than abandoning the farms, they've adapted their businesses. You see so many more value-added products out on those farms today. You see the booming specialty cheese businesses that exist out there. So it's really about, I guess my point here is as you drive by those farms and you see the homesteads and you see the nice white fences and the farms or the barns that are there, that the agriculture business in this part of the county, and I think this is true of all of Sonoma County, has constantly evolved, kept up with their own business practices in order to make a living, in order to keep their families on the farm, which I found out is such an important aspect of Sonoma County agriculture. And I think that the county needs to acknowledge that. The county needs to understand that, and I think that we do. And I think that the county truly is committed to thriving agriculture and climate protection, and both can exist at the same time. They have to. We have so much invested here. I think they strengthen each other, especially when we work together, understanding the agricultural challenges that exist, and we blend those with our goals. I think the county and the board recognize the value of contribution of local agriculture, and they know it plays a critical role in reducing greenhouse gases. I think that agriculture in this community is an industry which creates local jobs. We know that. It's because of agriculture as part of the fabric, again, of Sonoma County, that we have to support its health through recognition and the increasing barriers that it faces today. Now, again, on the regulatory side, another thing came to my mind as I was thinking about what to say. And talking about regulations, which as was mentioned, I appreciate the comment, what level are we going to regulate ourselves? Certainly for the common good and public safety, there are regulations that are needed and required. Scott Weber, if I can say this, Arnie, Scott Weber is Dick Weber's son. Dick is ill these days, and I wish him our best. but that's Arnie's partner. And I saw Scott the other day, and he was telling me a story about a government inspector that came out to one of the farms. It happened to be on the conventional side of the egg business. The inspector was with a flashlight on his hands and knees, looking for openings in the exterior wall of the hen house, making sure that there weren't any openings that any varmints can get through and any bugs that the hens would end up eating. At the same time, the next day, a different regulator from the same agency came out on the organic side, and they were checking to make sure that the hens were having enough outside time, not worried about the varmints and or the bugs that they were eating. So it goes to show you the same agency looking at the same business sector, taking two radically different approaches, and certainly somewhere in the middle must lie the best place to be. And I think that when you're a business that gets regulated to that level, I think that you question those things. What is it that we're trying to achieve with that type of regulation? And I think that, again, that the county has always been trying to work with the agricultural community, certainly through the Sonoma County, and I'm glad that was mentioned as well, Sonoma County Ag Preservation Open Space District. We protected 85,000 acres thus far in about 21 years. Much of that in agricultural easements, which are important. It's an important aspect to the family farm, to stay on the family farm, to keep it operating and to keep it economically viable. I think that here in California, we have our challenges, and as Arnie mentioned, again, the Prop 2 initiative, California's initiative process in and of itself, sometimes creates more headaches than really following through, in spite of best intentions, I believe. But it really has to come down to understanding from the regulatory and the government side, understanding what the business does, the problems that it creates, the goals that we want to achieve, and working together with the stakeholders to get there. And I think that it is possible. I think Sonoma County is a model of that. I'm proud to be a member of a board that I believe believes that to be the case, moving forward with local businesses, with local agriculture to achieve both climate change and to make sure that we have a thriving economy here in the county in all sectors, including agriculture. So again, I thank you very much for being here and appreciate the conference very much.